Shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that ruled well. Peace and salutations to the Akim that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, waking up the hopeful elect and risking your lives and freedoms to do so. All right, definitely more so now than ever before. This is the brother Zion Amar from the GMS Detroit by Camp. And this is going to be our lesson, all right, dealing with basically the food or so-called food that we eat, consume, purchase, right? And basically the fact of the matter is, or the question is it really food, right? And because, as of late, with Esau counterfeiting everything and all this lab-created meat, and he's basically making patties and 3D printing, food, right? So-called plant-based food, right? But yet he's making certain, I use the word food loosely because it's not food, all right? It shouldn't be for human consumption, but this is the devil at work, all right? And it all proves that prophecy is the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai are true, because the Lord said it would be times like this. Now, so this video was inspired, right, by this clip from SNL. As you can see on the screen, they did an Arby's clip. I want to say last weekend, maybe the weekend before, but anyway, it was going into, like, they were questioning, they were making light of the situation, but it's a serious matter, saying that, Arby's, I don't know if they currently have this deal, but I know they do specials, in this skit, right? It was claimed that Arby's was offering five roast beef sandwiches for like $10. And it's like, how is that even logical or possible, according to what the cost of roast beef should be, right? You go to, your local grocery store or wherever, and roast beef is what? Easily $10 a pound, let's say 7, 8, 9, $10, whatever, right? That's per pound, right? And I don't know, how much they put on their sandwiches, but whatever the case, right? How are you able to offer 5 of these sandwiches at $10 when, for example, roast beef is $10 per pound? Like, it don't line up. So it's like, well, wait a minute, is this really roast beef? Because it's like, also to boot, how are you in business? How are you being a profitable company, right? To be able to offer these type of deals, make money, and also actually be selling real food. Something has to give, all right? And we know, all right, the tricks, all right, of these large corporations, all right? They're all about cutting costs. You understand? Long as it look presentable and it tastes like food, hey, basically you're not supposed to be the wiser. You understand? So I won't play the skit, for due to copyright or getting it straight or whatever the case, but just throw in SNL on YouTube, and scroll through. You should be able to see the Arby's skit. It is actually, I don't watch SNL too much, but when I do, or I'll just say I noticed that this skit actually was an amusing skit. You know what I'm saying? It just gave Jake something to think about, something to consider. But so let's head to the scriptures, right? Because the Lord told us, prophetically that, victuals will be sold cheap, right? With victuals is food, right? Provisions, food, right? So real quick, this is 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 21, and it reads, "Behold," meaning to look, "victuals," which I said is food, right, "shall be so good cheap upon the earth." Right? And a five for 10, I mean, hey, that's cheap. That's super cheap. Right? For 5 sandwiches, right? In these times, right, due to, with inflation and all that, how are you able to uphold such a price? Again, something doesn't add up. So I'm saying that all to say, hey, a lot, especially these large corporations, these fast food chains, supplies, all right, it ain't food, all right. Just say it straight. It's not food, right? It may appear like food, but this stuff is defiled, all right. And the scriptures mention that as well, right? That we will eat our food, defiled amongst the Gentiles, which I'll get that shortly. But yeah, this food is too cheap for it to be food. You know what I'm saying? Like, some don't add up. If you go to the grocery store, right, that price should, for the most part, it should reflect, right, what's going on in a restaurant. Because as a matter of fact, when you go to certain, for example, this Jamaican spot that I go to, right, and some of their dishes, it'll say market price, meaning you're gonna pay whatever they're paying, basically. You know what I'm saying? With a little bit added on for them to make a profit. You understand? So showing that, you have some places, right, that, especially the little mom and pops, that may serve, good food. You got certain places that may have some integrity, in a sense, right, to say, well, hey, it cost me this much, so, this is what you're going to have to pay, right? So that puts you a little bit at peace, so to speak. I mean, just to put it out there, I mean, it's really all defiled at the end of the day, but you're just trying to pick the best of the worst. You know what I'm saying? So just in an example, like I say, it'll say market price, when you're ordering, certain things, like, I'm trying to think, I think I want to say maybe like the snapper, or like oxtails, or, something like that, something that costs, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be seeing no deals, $7 plate, for 5 oxtails or something crazy. Like, there's no way. Like, in the store, it costs $20. So, how are you pulling this off, So, anyway, yeah. Our people think, they're in a good case because, they're getting a good deal, a cheap deal, on this fast food. You can spend, hell, $20-$30, and feed 4 or 5 people, and all in all, you got hell breaking out all around you. You know what I'm saying? And Jake is not considering the big picture. He doesn't, because you have to be mindful, of great things as well as small things. You got to understand, like, what's going on. Why is this all taking place? And basically, with them discounting or having these, these food deals that they do, right? It's just to give you the illusion that America is A-OK, everything is intact and everything is going to be all right. But you're going to be, all right, 2/3 of our people and the rest of the world are going to be in for a rude awakening, all right? But let me read the next verse. It says, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine." That's right. That's what's coming next, right? Because of the manufactured mandates with the jump shot and all that, right? It basically threw the whole economy out of whack, right? Dealing with Russia, dealing with what is this place? The bread basket. Damn, it escaped me right now, the name of this country, but I was just saying that all to say that, hey, you go to your local grocery stores, they're not really stocked like they used to be, and if they are, all right, hey, the prices are an absorbent amount, pocketbook, all right, to what you spend and what you bring in, you know, to the point that it's not going to be anything left soon, because, hey, these trucks, all right, are basically the ones that's responsible, all right, from getting it from the docks, you know, getting off those cargo ships from the docks, and then loading up the trucks and going into these different inner cities. Salaki. Going to these different inner cities and you know, and delivering, you know, your food, right? And as it is known, all right, on average, all these stores, all right, they only have a 3 days worth of supply, you know, of you know, stock surplus. After that, you know, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So when people really, you know, seeing the shift take place, you know, the shit hitting the fan, right? When they really see that, right? When the MOTB is rolled out and they see like, oh, this is the Great Reset. They, you know, the government is serious about this and there's no turning back, right? You're gonna have people, hey man, hey, it's gonna be dog eat dog, as they say, you know, self-preservation. You know, you're trying to feed you and yours. You know what I mean? About survival. So hey, if you don't have the Spirit of the Lord upon you, you know, that hedge of protection, then, you know, you're gonna get caught up in this wash, and it ain't gonna be nothing nice. You know what I'm saying? So it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth, said many, as like I said, the great majority dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, right? Because these stores gonna be empty. You know, hey, restaurants that was selling so-called food, McDonald's, down to like Burger King, Wendy's, all of them, all this stuff gonna be empty. You know, it says, and the other that escaped the hunger shall the sword destroy, because that's gonna be the race wars, right? That's gonna be due to the fact that there's no food. People fighting for food, you know, fighting to live. So if it means, you know, killing your neighbor, right? Okay, just to eat, then that's gonna be the go down. You know, that's gonna be the get down, should I say? All right, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. That's right, because hey, people gonna be rioting. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be martial law in the streets to try to, you know, bring back order. You know, it's gonna be like a time like never before, because this is the time of Jacob's trouble. You know, so yeah, you're getting a great deal now, but hey, you're defiling yourself because it's not really food, right? And in process of time, that's gonna lead to famine. So we're gonna go literally from sugar to shit. You know what I'm saying? Virtually overnight. And I quoted Ezekiel. So let me get that real quick. I want to say. Just to hit the point. This is Ezekiel 4:13, and it reads, and Yahweh said, even thus, right, meaning you, yourself, shall the children of, or even thus shall the children of Israel, all right, meaning the Israelites, all right, you so-called Negroes, Latins, and Native Americans, all right, your bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to who the promises were given, all right, which is basically the kingdom of heaven, rulership upon the earth over the other nations. All right, the Lord set us apart, all right, from these other nations. He set us near and dear to himself. All right, so the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles. All right, see, So we're going to be eating our food, all right, defiled among these other nations. All right, the perfect example was, the thumbnail of the skit that I showed concerning Arby's, right? Because it ain't just Arby's, it's all these fast food restaurants, all right? All right, this stuff is not food, it's just the resemblance of food, all right? But it's not true food in the sense that, it can actually nourish you and satisfy you. You know what I mean? It actually, feed your body, to be a benefactor to you. All this stuff is set up, literally. It's created to break your system down or to make you sick. All right, so that you have to do what? Go to the hospitals, all right, and get all type of medications and testings, shots or whatever, all right, just to live. It says, whether I will drive them, all right? Hey, the Lord drove us right here to America, to serve captivity, all right? So, hey, the scriptures are on point, man. It's just time for our people to get on point. And, hey, we already know 2/3 of our people, they weren't blessed with that gift of faith, all right, to believe the scriptures. Only the 1/3, right, of the nation of Israel. Okay, the 144,000, right, which is part of the 1/3, all right, but the 144,000 is dealing with the men, all right, that's going to be the kings and priests, all right, of the earth. And then you're going to have, other, men, women, and children, all right, that make up that 1/3. But, our food is truly defiled, and don't get so caught up in a good deal. You know what I'm saying? Because, all right, how's the saying go? Oh yeah, it must. If it's too good to be true, then most likely, it's too good to be true. So it must be false, basically. But I'm gonna just leave it at that. So Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem B'Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to the Akim that's pushing his word of truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.